Hey everyone, this is question 5 on Mechanics 2024, and we've got a projectiles question. So it says, at time t equals 0, a small stone is projected with a velocity of 35 meters per second from a point O on horizontal ground. The stone is projected at an angle of alpha to the horizontal where tan alpha is equal to 3/4. In an initial model, the stone is projected as modelled as a particle moving freely under gravity. The stone hits the ground at point A. Figure 4 shows the path of P from O to A. For the motion of P from O to A at time t seconds, the horizontal distance of P is x and the vertical distance is y. Using the model, show that y is equal to 3/4 x minus 1 over 160 x squared. 6 marks. Okay, so first of all, let's get our sketch going. So we've got our particle. Now, I think the key piece of information here is that they've told us that it's a horizontal distance of x and a vertical distance of y. We're going to be using that. We've got our angle of projection is alpha, and we've got a speed of 35 meters per second. We're told it's a 3/4-5, it's a tan alpha is 3/4, so therefore it's a Pythagorean triple 3/4-5. So in this kind of question, what you need to do is resolve. There's only two things you can do really with projectiles, which is resolve vertically and resolve horizontally. So it's no surprise that we've just got to resolve vertically and resolve horizontally and see what we get. So resolving vertically, we're going to be using SUVAT, and the vertical distance is going to be y. The speed is going to be u sine alpha, because we've got the opposite. So in this triangle here, that's the opposite. So u sine alpha, we don't need to worry about how fast it's going. The acceleration is going to be minus g, because it's going against gravity, and the time will be t seconds. So now u sine alpha is 35 times by 3/5, because sine is opposite over hypotenuse. And when you work that out, that turns out to give us 21. So we write down our appropriate SUVAT, which is S equals ut at a half at squared, and we sub in everything we know. So our u is 21, our a is minus g, and our t is just t. So we just leave that result there now, and now we resolve horizontally. So resolving horizontally, distance equals velocity times time. So the distance, the horizontal distance is x, and the horizontal component of the speed is u cos alpha. So x is equal to u cos alpha times by t. Cos alpha is 4/5 as well from our triangle. Okay, so we've got x is equal to 28t. Now, once you've got these two equations, you'll notice that the equation that we're being asked to derive in the question has no t in it. So we need to take this second equation, make t the subject by saying that t is equal to x divided by 28. And we're going to sub that result in there for t into this equation here. And when we do that, we get 21 over 28 times x, which simplifies to 3/4, which is encouraging. And we have minus, we have actually that's plus there. So plus a half times by minus g times x squared over 28. Now, when you put 9.8 over 2 and over 28 squared, it simplifies into 1 over 160. So we've therefore derived that equation for those 6 marks. It's worth pointing out that in that particular type of projectile question, it's always the same. Resolve vertically, resolve horizontally, get 2 equations, and then make t the subject, sub it in order to eliminate t, and you'll usually get the equation that you require. And 6 marks is a good number of marks for that as well. Okay, what's next? That's part A done. Use your answer to part A or otherwise to find out what the length OA is. Okay, now the length OA is going to be when our y value is 0. Okay, because that's we're going to have 0 when it's projected and 0 when it lands at A. So therefore, this equation will equal 0. This is our trivial solution. That is when it's projected. So therefore, that y is going to equal 0 when this bracket equals 0. So we add 160x over to both sides and times by 4 and then divide by 3. Times by 160 rather, and that gives us that x is equal to 120 meters. So that's our part B done. Now it says, using the model, the greatest height of the stone above the ground is found to be h. It says, use your answer to part A or otherwise to find the value of h. Now, by symmetry, if we know that the stone is at 0, h is 0 at 0 and 120, then by symmetry the maximum height is going to occur at 60. So we just need to sub in x is equal to 60 into the equation that we're given, and that will give us our height. And when we sub that in, we find out that we get 22.5. Okay, last couple of little bits of this question. So it says D. Using this new model, the greatest height of the stone above the ground is found to be k meters. It says, which is greater, h or k, justifying your answer. And it says, oh, the model has been refined to include air resistance. So now that we've got air resistance included in our model, that means that the projectile is not going to reach as high because of the fact that the air resistance would have slowed it down, so it won't be able to reach as great a height. Okay, so therefore this greatest height was k, and this greatest height was h. So h is greater than k, as the air resistance will cause the stone to decelerate faster. Okay, so it's not going to get as high. So h is greater than k. And then finally, state one limitation of the model. Pretty much, there's loads of things we could have. We could just say a limitation of the model is that there's spin on the ball has not been taken into account. The effects of wind have not been taken into account, and notice that wind is different to air resistance. And then finally, we could use a more accurate value of g. And you could also say that the model assumes that the ground is horizontal, and it might not be. So I think they're pretty generous on that last particular mark. Okay, I hope you found that helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.